Have you ever met someone who seems perfectly content on their own? The brilliant mind isolated in their work, the visionary who walks a lonely path. It's a powerful image. But does having no friends actually mean you're a secret genius? While it's a compelling idea, psychology says the truth is far more complex and probably not what you think. It's not a simple case of smart people not needing friends. Let's break down the real science behind intelligence and our social lives. 1. The Lonely Genius Association. So, where does this idea even come from? There is some evidence for it. For instance, one study looking at a specific group of gifted adolescents and adults with an IQ over 130 found they reported higher levels of loneliness than the general population. This often comes from a deep feeling of being different. When your mind works in a unique way, your interests and thought patterns might not align with the people around you, which can create a sense of disconnect. When you're thinking about complex ideas, small talk can feel incredibly draining. This can lead some intelligent people to prefer solitude, not because they dislike others, but because they find more fulfillment pursuing their own thoughts. This isn't just about being an introvert, it's about a fundamental difference in perspective that can make finding common ground a real challenge. 2. It's a two-way street. But here's where the story gets complicated. The link isn't just high IQ causes loneliness. More research suggests the relationship goes both ways. For example, large-scale studies on aging adults provide strong evidence that social isolation is causally linked to faster cognitive decline later in life. In other words, while a high IQ might be associated with feeling lonely, a lack of social connection can actually harm your cognitive function over time. Social interactions provide crucial mental stimulation that helps protect your brain. This can create a cycle. Higher loneliness can predict a steeper decline in cognitive function, and some emerging studies suggest that lower cognitive function might precede greater social withdrawal. So, being isolated doesn't just correlate with intelligence, it can actively diminish it. 3. A better explanation: social intelligence. You might have heard of a fringe idea called the Savannah Principle, which suggests intelligent people are better evolved to handle modern life with less social contact. However, this is a controversial hypothesis that lacks strong scientific support and isn't a widely accepted explanation. Instead, a more critical piece of the puzzle is social and emotional intelligence. While some studies find a link between general IQ and social understanding, other research shows that social skills can be very separate from raw intelligence. In fact, strong social and emotional intelligence is often a predictor of better relationships, larger social networks, and even greater success in life. This directly challenges the simple loner genius narrative. Recent reviews even suggest that highly intelligent people aren't necessarily hyper-empathic. They may rely more on cognitive analysis to understand others' feelings rather than automatic emotional reactions. 4. The big difference: loneliness versus solitude. It's also crucial to understand the distinction between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness is the distressing, involuntary feeling of being isolated. It's a painful experience. Solitude, on the other hand, is a positive and deliberate choice to spend time alone. Many highly intelligent individuals don't suffer from a lack of friends. They simply choose to spend more time in solitude to think, reflect, and work on things that deeply interest them. This is a sign of being comfortable in your own company, not a sign of social failure. This time alone is what allows them to recharge and pursue their passions. So, is having no friends a sign of high intelligence? The evidence shows it is absolutely not a reliable sign. The lonely genius is a stereotype. But the reality is that many highly intelligent people have rich, fulfilling social lives. The relationship is complex, influenced by personality, emotional intelligence, and personal choice. More importantly, the data clearly shows that fostering social connections is crucial for protecting your brain health in the long run. High intelligence doesn't destine you to a life of loneliness, and having a great social life is certainly not a sign of a lower IQ. The true indicators of a rich life are far more complex than just the number of friends you have. If you love understanding why people think and behave the way they do, hit subscribe now, because on this channel, we don't just observe human behavior, we decode it.